Hey besties, I'm Jet.
And I'm Victoria. And welcome to the Book Besteas Podcast,
where the books are good,
the takes are honest,
and the tea is always hot.
Today we're chatting about A Court of Wings and Ruin, the third book of the ACOTAR series by Sarah J. Maas. Let's fly!
Let's get into the first impressions right away because I can't wait to talk about this book. This is literally my favorite book for the whole series.
Oh my god.
Yes.
Go for it. Go off, girl.
I figured that I actually love the war and like political alliances trope, if I may say,
Okay.
in books because of ACOWAR.
All right.
I thought I'm like a romance girly, but I was like, I think I love when like characters are strategizing.
Okay.
What about you?
I feel like I'm actually the opposite. I enjoyed those parts that were not part of the war, even though this is ACOWAR. But I did enjoy the end. After the war, the rebuilding, just the conversations that led up to and after.
Interesting.
Mm-hmm.
So if you have one word to describe the book, what would it be?
Roller coaster.
Explain.
Okay, so I'm one to fear roller coasters. I fear heights, and I never know when something's gonna suddenly drop.
Oh.
Or if I'm just gonna literally fall out of my seat. Has anyone had that fear before? Because I have.
Well, because you're so tiny.
I am really tiny,
Like,
and then
you
I
can
shifted
literally
the seat.
slide- yeah.
I could slide out, right? Okay, I do not make this up, guys. When we were going through the scenes and it was building up, they're camping out, I'm like, okay, is something gonna happen? Something gonna happen? And then I'm like, I don't know, it's fine. And then something happens, or someone shows up, or someone dies, or almost dies, and I'm like, oh my god. Roller coaster. How about for you?
I would say Reckoning.
Ooh.
Because I feel like there's so much buildup in the first two, plus the beginning of this book that finally hit.
Yes.
It's like all the choices, all the tension, and the consequences of the actions that, you know, the character did in the previous book or like earlier in the book. It's finally happening. It wrapped up, and it wrapped up so beautifully that I just ended up loving it so much.
Ooh.
Yes.
Okay, so diving right in, we start off with Feyre going back to Spring Court. And that was freaking scary.
That was scary. Yeah.
What was your first thought? Like immediately when we're like, oh, she's going back.
I was like, what if Tamlin wants to get intimate with Feyre? It is possible.
It's possible.
It's been a while.
Ooh.
I mean, like for
yeah.
Tamlin, like seeing Feyre. So I'm like, oh my gosh, like what if? Although, let's be real. Like after, you know, everything happened with Rhysand and then obviously like marrying Rhysand, I feel like Feyre would not do such thing. But it was a matter of like, would it be the thing that would reveal the pretending that she's doing?
Ooh.
Because it might be. It's a risk.
It's a risk.
Know, for Tamlin to realize that Feyre's just pretending. Or playing double agent, so...
I mean, yeah, and we also know that Rhysand under the mountain was essentially a whore to Amarantha. So at some point, we're like, what boundaries or lines are our High Lord and High Lady willing to cross in order to protect the people they love?
What do you think of Feyre creating this mistrust between Tamlin and Lucien?
I loved it.
You loved it?
It was so
loves it.
It was so necessary because, as I've been saying in the other episodes, Lucien has always done things only on behalf of Tamlin.
Okay.
And even when it's helping Feyre. And so for Tamlin to like basically backtrack on all of that loyalty, or like, you know, turn all of that loyalty into something so negative, I feel like that hopefully was going to be the wake-up call for Lucien to live your own life. We've been talking about him being a nomad. Let him go off, do his thing.
Absolutely.
What about Ianthe being the one that's forcing herself onto Lucien and then sleeping together during the rite?
Oh my gosh. I was like, what's with the girls of ACOTAR? Like, we see that happen with Amarantha like first book, and now Ianthe. And who else is having this like, you know, like wants with like what is it with forcing these guys or like high fays, high lords,
males?
Okay, now that I asked that,
Connie's tea.
Okay. I'm not get convinced.
But then later on, we know that he's essentially a taken male. So, like, ooh. But then she's dead, so it's okay. Because actually, there was a moment where I was worried, too. I'm like, is she going to get pregnant with Lucian's?
Can you imagine?
I know. I don't want to.
Can you imagine if Amarantha actually got pregnant by Rhysand?
And that was totally possible because it was 50 years.
Yeah.
The chances, right? Oh, my God.
Wow. Okay.
Oh, let's not go there.
Yeah.
Okay. Moving on. So while Feyre was in Spring Court, she was up to a lot of shit. And which is like, go off, queen. Go off, queen. What was your favorite Feyre Spring Court moment?
I think that when, well, I said it already, the Tamlin Lucian part, when she went to Lucian's room. Oh, that was when she felt like Tamlin was gonna go to her that night.
Yes.
And that was her exit strategy, is to go to Lucian's room.
Mm-hmm. Oh.
Do you think Lucian would have bought it?
No.
Okay.
He was already on her case. But do you think he actually liked her, maybe even just a little bit? Because you talked about a love triangle before.
Absolutely. I mean, during this time, probably not.
But before.
But before.
Yeah.
In book one, like the first time that they, ate together in one table and stuff like that, I feel like there was something there. After the end of ACOWAR, we already know that Lucian is Elaine's mate, right? So there's no way that Lucian would hit that. So we're good. We're good on that.
We're good on that.
What about you? What's your favorite?
When she takes Ianthe's light and frames herself as the goddess that Ianthe wanted everyone in Spring Court to think she was. And then everyone's like, oh my God, she's our savior. Whew. I mean, like, she deserves that spotlight. She finally got it. And I love that for her.
Ianthe is just like a pick-me girl, huh?
Ooh, yeah. That's a accurate term.
I think so.
Mm-hmm.
Let's move on to the High Lord meeting at the Dawn Court. I feel like this is one of the moments that stood out to me, is because we see each of them in spotlight of what they really are as, a High Lord male, as a Fae. Given that question, who is your favorite High Lord? Obviously, besides Rhysand.
Besides Rhysand. Okay. You know from the previous episodes how much I love Tarkin.
Yes.
Yes, he's a sweetheart. Nothing changed about that love. But after Tarkin would be Helion. Because he's so funny.
Interesting.
The whole I don't remember exactly when it happened, but basically, like, he was showing up at Night Court, and then Rhysand was like, don't make a big deal out of it. So then he's like, fine, and then he brings a Pegasus. Like, shows up on a winged horse. I mean, the drama, the excess, I love it. How about you?
I think Tarkin.
Ooh, I did not expect that.
Really?
Yes. Why Tarkin?
Because I remember when, it didn't happen at the meeting, but I remember like later on when they were talking about saving the humans.
Yes.
From the human world and bringing them into Prythian. But it was a question of like, but where were they, going to be placed at?
Yeah.
And they're like Valeris, but then Rhys was like, no, it's too far. It's going to be hard to like fly them or like winnow them there. And Tarkin was like, bring them to Adriata. And then he sent Cressida to Adriata to oversee the humans. And I felt like, oh my gosh, like he's so, so sweet. And even after all that betrayal that happened in ACOWAR,
which was big.
Which was really big.
He could still do the right thing.
He could still do the right thing.
He could forgive. He could move on. Oh, Tarkin.
Yeah.
Tarkin.
Love, love, love Tarkin. Now going back to Helion, we found out what a freaking revelation that Helion is actually Lucian's dad.
Oh my God. Okay. I did not see that coming.
Me too.
Right?
Me too.
Jesus.
And the way that it was revealed as well was so casual.
And it's like never explicitly said, but everyone just knows.
And it still was not being talked about.
Right. And then he technically sleeps with a lot of Fays. So we don't even so
both male and female, right?
Both male and female. So we actually don't know. And he probably isn't the only one.
Who?
Lucian is probably not the only bastard child of Helion.
Yeah.
Wait, that could be an Easter egg.
I don't know.
I don't know. Okay. But one more thing about the High Lords I loved is that, and we'll get to the full war scene later, is that when they went to Spring Court, the High Lords were willing to winnow humans to the Spring Court. That showed that they're not only going to protect humans, but they're going to treat them almost like equals. Like I love that.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm. Absolutely. I remember when the other High Lords didn't want to do it too, because obviously, like, it's a lot of magic that, they're going to spend. But Feyre was like, no, you have to. Feyre really stood her ground into making sure that the humans are saved and being winnowed to Adriata. I remember it was it Vivian's High Lord?
Vivian's High Lord.
Callias?
Yeah,
Callias. Like, Winter Court was like, oh, it's too much of, magic that we're going to spend doing that. And Feyre was like, one life may change the world. Where would you all be if someone had deemed saving my life to be a waste of time?
I forgot about that. Yes. So on point.
Yeah, but I'm just glad that also, like, Vivian is Callias, sounding.
Yes.
Voice. Yeah.
And actually so much more too. They're almost very much like Feyre and Rhysand as equals.
Yeah.
Even though public perception is not so, but they've done, apparently, as we learn, they've done so much together. They've gone into battle together. It's crazy.
She could be High Lady too.
She could be. Oh yeah, and didn't she ask for that?
Yeah, she was like, how come I'm not High Lady?
I know, right? Good for her.
Absolutely. And she was also like the very first one to say, I am with you to Feyre.
Right. It was a powerful moment. Let's go, women.
I also like the banter in that High Lord meeting. One of the most annoying was Tamlin, obviously, like, being bitter.
Tamlin who?
Being bitter to Feyre. When Azriel shut him up and said, be careful about how you speak to my High Lady.
Oh, so on point.
So on point, because Azriel doesn't really speak too much, but when he does, it's like so intentional.
Yes. And talking about banter, I love afterward when Helion goes into their quarters and it's just like with Rhysand. Like at first during the meeting, he pretends like, oh, their relationship is just okay. But then he goes into their quarters and is up to Rhysand like, hey, like, bruh, what's up? That type of attitude.
Yeah.
And I feel like that's the type of High Lord that I want. High Lord friendship that I'd like to see for Rhysand and Tarkin to have.
Mm-hmm. Azriel was really heated on this conversation too. I remember he almost hurt Eris.
Oh,
do you remember that? Because of like what he's saying about Moore.
Yeah. So let's talk about Eris for a second, because that's a whole controversy here. I think we're on the same page in that we didn't feel like Eris is a bad player in all of this.
I don't think so. Yeah, there has to be something more about Eris that we don't know yet.
Mm-hmm.
Like, he's trying to cover up something.
Yes,
he's scheming,
but
it doesn't necessarily make him like a bad Fae,
right?
Yeah.
And as we know, their father is not a good person, and so like he's always had to, in a way, protect Lucian, protect everyone else in his court, and by playing this middle ground bad guy, that might be his way.
Absolutely. I wanted to talk about how easy it was for the Dreamers, for the Inner Circle, to accept Feyre as High Lady. Because we didn't really see that to be like a case of, like, no one really questioned why she all of a sudden became High Lady.
Oh, I loved that. I loved that because it showed how far they've come. Like at first, Azriel, as we talked about in the other episode, when Feyre was first brought into the inner court, Azriel did have a few qualms about her. Mm-hmm. And later on, he starts to trust her more. Now, obviously, as you mentioned, he just stood up for her in front of all the High Lords. Mm-hmm. So it's a big deal. They've come full circle. She's proven herself, especially, I think, because she was willing to go back to Spring Court to do what she needed to do. Mm-hmm. And I feel like
the respect is there now.
The respect is there now. They even felt, I think, to the extent of feeling like, oh, is she basically going to be like Rhysand going under the mountain in this situation?
So talking more about Feyre, obviously we have so much things to talk about when it comes to Feyre. I mean, she's our FMC.
Yes.
What are the other things that stood out to you before war?
Before war about Feyre.
Yeah.
Ooh, so much. Okay, so first of all, about the Ouroboros moment. That was the biggest one for me. Because it literally, it was figurative and literally her looking at herself and seeing herself objectively. Because us as readers, at least me, I've always felt like she's giving herself too hard a time. Like, she's morally gray, but she's always done things with the best of intentions.
Right.
But yet this whole time she's felt very guilty, and almost to the point, like we debated before, about under the mountain, whether she really wanted to kill herself because of what she did. And so now to have this moment with the Ouroboros mirror to figure out that, hey, you know, actually she can love and forgive herself for everything that she's done, and possibly even do more, like she did with the manipulations in Spring Court. That was a big moment. How about for you?
It was when she disguised as Ayanthi.
Ooh, okay, do tell.
I think it was the time when she had to save Elaine, and she was like, I'm gonna go enter through the front door. And I didn't realize what she was gonna do until she disguised as Ayanthi, and I was like, oh my God. That was insane.
It was insane.
That was my favorite.
And there's so many more moments too along the ways, big and small, where I just feel like that's a win, girl.
Absolutely.
And she's doing it in such a more strategic way. Whereas before, you know, she had the right intentions, like going under the mountain. But as we remember, when she went under the mountain, she basically had no plan. Now she's going to Spring Court, and she knows, like, I'm going to make Ianthe out to be the evil person she is. I'm going to sow distrust between Tamlin and Lucien. All these scheming is pre-prepared. Good for her.
Good for her.
Our queen has grown up.
And there's more that happened before the war as well. So before the war actually happened, we saw this moment of the goodbye messages that were exchanged, most especially from Rhysand. I can read that and listen to that as many times as I can, and it would
literally right before this episode.
Yeah,
she listened.
Still cry. I don't know. I don't even know how to start.
First of all, I loved how he prefaced. He was like, do you want the real one, or do you want
the motivational
one?
And then the real one is still motivational.
Yes. And he does it in his own Rhysand way, where it's just like so deep and earnest that, like, he's truly deep down loved every single member of his inner court.
Absolutely. Like, he's not entitled to have these people around him.
No. He does not take them for granted.
He values them.
Oh, absolutely.
When he said to Feyre that he would have waited 500 more years for her.
That was so beautiful.
And that hurt me too, when he was like, if this is all the time that we could have, it was still worth it. I'm like,
for someone who's lived 500 years.
I know, it was still worth it because the love was so true. So great.
Broke my heart.
And he said, I believe that everything happened exactly the way it had to, so I could find you. It's like no regrets. And even though he had a hard time for 50 years with Amarantha, it was still part of the journey so that they may find each other. And even it goes with Feyre too, for like the pain that she endured with Tamlin, with Spring Court, with, you know, her human life. It was all a part of this whole journey for the both of them. And so it was beautiful. I think when Rhysand said that too, it sort of had me forgive the villains of their lives. Yeah,
because those moments that led them to each other,
and the fact that, like, Rhysand himself does not have something, you know, like if he was able to accept it, I was like, okay, then me too, you know, then maybe I do not hate Tamlin that much
Right.
that much. Or I do not hate Nesta for doing nothing to, to Feyre or even Amarantha. I mean, I'm not saying that they're absolved. They're not absolved for what they did, but it was forgiveness. Again, you don't have to redeem yourself to be able to give forgiveness. And in that case of seeing Rhysand, kind of being able to acknowledge that is like so beautiful to me.
Absolutely. And his message to his bat brothers too. Oh, because I don't think he gets to say that enough to them. Because they're not in a romantic relationship. They're, guys. But when he said that, I'm sure deep down, especially Azriel, hearing, oh, my heart breaks. Because Azriel is one with few words, and then yet he could hear that from his High Lord and best buddy. Okay.
Final war.
That was a showdown. But it was some build-up in between, too.
Absolutely.
Ooh, okay.
And then everyone has their own role.
Yes. And yet they all come together, too, in a
Yep.
very harmonious way that didn't start off that way. Because obviously they're from all different courts, different groups within the courts. Like, even just within Night Court, we have the Court of Nightmares army versus Night Court.
And then Illyrians.
And Illyrians. Yeah.
And they each have their own, like, tension.
And their own fighting styles.
Absolutely. Because even with Cassian and Rhysand and Azriel, we also saw tension there.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
And I think that is, like, it's the differences in leadership.
Yeah.
Understanding of who's going to be at the front, like who's going to get to play the most in this battle, who's going to come first versus last, because there's also this sense of like who's more worthy, I guess, if you will, of being at the front, and who they need to protect the most, like with Feyre and Moore sitting back essentially.
But the thing is, like, Cassian is the commander general, so I feel like he has to be in front. But we also saw that Rhysand, because like he loves Cassian so much, obviously, like he's his brother, he doesn't want him to sort of like be there.
Like,
oh, I know. And Nesta also being able to kind of call it that Cassian is about to and then she literally called his name many times, super loud, because she felt it. So I was nervous.
I was so nervous. And I also felt like that was a full circle moment for Cassian too, because technically they didn't have to the other court's people didn't have to be willing to fall under his lead, but they did. And that's a testament to him being a good leader, not just a strong person. And also I love that in this process we get to see so many people just show up, come back full circle as well. We get Bone Carver, we get Weaver, Abraxas, Feyre's dad, Draken, Miriam,
Vasa,
Lucian,
and
our nomad. We thought I would have been happy for him though if he just walked off the face of the continent and then just sailed the world. Good for him. Yeah. But he came back too.
And I feel like that's what Lucian is always gonna come back.
Oh,
but he would always venture somewhere else, and I feel like that's gonna be good for her. For him.
Ooh, wait, what are you applying here?
Hey, his dad is.
Oh, that's true. We're having too much fun with that, or not enough fun.
Okay, so let's start with Bone Carver then. Because he was the first one. He was like a surprise to Rhys that Feyre actually retrieved the Ouroboros, brought it to Bone Carver. Ended up Bone Carver didn't really want it. He was just testing Feyre and kind of like seeing if she's worthy at all. But the fact that Bone Carver is still the boy that Feyre saw in book 2, and then Feyre finally realizing that it wasn't baby Rhys, but it was actually
their child,
their future child.
Ooh,
I was like, okay.
Oh, and I love the challenge that he gave her. I think, okay,
But like, come on, like a waste of time with that. I was like, there's so many things happening.
True. There's a lot going on, but I do have a quote from Bone Carver that really stood out to me. He said, it's a rare person to face who they truly are and not run from it, not be broken by it. And that was key for me because it was a pivotal moment for Feyre and for Bone Carver to be the face or the body of their future baby and say that to her was almost like giving her this this additional sense of like comfort that like I'm here for you.
Right.
And that because you can trust yourself now, I as your future child can exist. Like there's something to look forward to. Don't give up. I'm here for you.
Can you imagine if that comes full circle when Nyx actually grows up and Feyre says that to Nyx because the Bone Carver is not, alive anymore, but what about the Weaver? Rhysand's surprise to Feyre.
Rhysand's surprise too. I have a hot take.
What?
I feel like it was her death. The Weaver's death was so unnecessary.
Oh, I have to agree.
Yeah? Okay.
I don't even know why even Bone Carver is dead.
Right?
It's
Exactly.
like, really,
That's it. I almost felt like they built both of them up to be like, oh my God, when you release them, like it's all over.
But what happens with them when they die?
Ooh.
Do they travel places? Do they come back?
Well, that's for another episode, guys. Stay tuned because this one's got a lot of Easter eggs up her sleeve.
How about Bryaxis?
I feel like Bryaxis just wanted a window. And then yet they came to war for it, for a window. And they could have left the library too. Like technically is Bryaxis really, really locked down there? I don't know.
Wait, Bryaxis is nowhere to be found now though.
Well, after the battle. That's true. Oh, so what they're really fighting for is more than a window.
What do you mean?
Freedom. A window to another world, maybe.
Oh my gosh, that makes sense. A window to another world.
Oh.
Maybe she's actually someone else.
Ooh, again with the Easter eggs.
No, maybe she is. Now that I think about it, that maybe she's still lingering on the fact that seeing something. So like a different place.
Could be.
Like maybe she's trying to find or look for that place, and then she wants a window to start looking for.
Ooh,
I don't know.
Okay, well, I look forward to seeing where Bryaxis ends up. So, another being.
Oh
no, you already know who I'm talking about. Our little Suriel.
Also just wants a clone.
I know. Why?
Why did the Suriel had to die?
I know that also felt like an unnecessary death. Poor Suriel. I hope, and I'm so glad she gave the cloak in the end.
But still.
But the
Suriel also like says so many like things that are very like inspiring and to be remembered about. He said that only you can decide what breaks you, curse breaker, and to leave this world a better place than how you found it. I wonder where the Suriel went to, like after they died.
And to think that all along the Suriel was a dreamer. He wasn't just saying it because he had to or that he thought it was fun. Like he truly believed in something more than. And so maybe that is a hint to what happens to the Suriel later on, or where the Suriel goes after death. Is that there's a place where dreamers like the Suriel can go to like find that beautiful world, that better place.
And I feel like it's always a thing too when leave this world a better place. It just made me realize, isn't there like a lot of Suriel? There are multiples.
In what sense?
There are multiple Suriels.
Like in the universe?
In ACOTAR.
Oh yeah. Absolutely.
But what are they? What were they?
Maybe they could the Suriel exists in multiple planes of existence.
Did you remember that who else has the thought of leaving this world a better place?
No, I don't remember. Who?
The 13.
Oh, a Tog reference.
It can be.
It can be.
Can you imagine the 13 being the Suriel?
Oh my god!
Anyways.
Anyways.
That was more of a uni discussion.
Okay.
Oh, Suriel.
We had so many deaths, but then we also had some near deaths too. That was wild. Like we just talked about Cassian almost dying, and we had Amryn actually kind of really dying,
yeah.
right? And then we had Rhysand. Oh my god. Every heartbreak. At the same time, I was truly scared by that point because I was like, maybe not Rhysand, but maybe Amryn.
I was even scared by Rhysand too.
Really?
Okay, I wasn't because I thought that there was still Frost and Starlight and Silver Flames.
Oh, that's true.
But can you imagine those who read this when it got published?
Ooh.
That it was set to be a trilogy?
Right.
That it's actually like ACOWAR is actually the last book at that time.
Oh my god.
And that it has to wrap up, and it's a tragedy.
Oh my god. I could not.
Oh my gosh.
I could not.
What about Cassian?
Cassian's near death, I thought that was the most real possibility of him actually not coming back. Yeah, the way they
Wow.
described how he was dying, it felt like this is it. This is the end.
And what he said too. I was like, dang, like Cassian is also like a lover boy.
Oh, so romantic.
But okay, let's be honest. Okay, so when he said, I have no regrets in my life but this, that we did not have the time. I will find you again in the next world, the next life, and we will have that time, I promise. That was really sweet. But I didn't think that there was that deep between him and Nesta yet.
That's true. That's true. But when one is dying, maybe like you just say it all anyway. Put it out there, YOLO, because you're gonna die.
Or maybe he already knew that, spoiler alert, so skip it, 10 seconds. What if he already knew that she was his mate? Didn't he talk about that, like, he knew from the moment that he saw her or something?
Yeah, that's true. I thought, and in that moment, I thought he already did know.
Okay.
Yeah.
So that's why he was able to say that.
Could be. Could be.
Interesting.
So Amryn, I was like, when she lied to Feyre, and then Feyre was like coming back to her being like, how dare you? Like, you explain yourself. I was almost like, why wouldn't you give her this? To Feyre, I was like, why wouldn't you give Amryn the benefit of the doubt? Like, Amryn's come so far along at this point, and like you were talking about earlier, none of them questioned that she's High Lady. They didn't have a second doubt about her. Like, why would you doubt Amryn in that moment? Like,
did you doubt Amryn?
No, I didn't. Did you?
I was a little bit more concerned that she might turn one of them around. But yeah, not that I don't trust Amryn, but I was like, oh my gosh, like, is she going with that route? And thank God she didn't.
Thank goodness she
Thank
didn't.
goodness.
Yeah. But yeah, anyway, so then at that moment, then she dies. And then Rhysand is able to pull her out, and then she becomes Faye. Hi, Faye. Crazy.
But I want to talk about a little bit with when she was, like, before she died. Obviously, she also had a chance to, like, say some, goodbye messages and stuff like that. Her backstory of, like her in a different world, like, seeing the humans fall in love. And she was like, now that she finally learned how to love, or like the feeling of that kind of love with Varian, and she has to go. And then also thinking her whole life that her being in Prithian, or in this world, is a punishment to her, but now realizing, because of all her family, that it was a gift.
All of it.
To me, I feel like, you know how I am when it comes to these things. Like, I really, like, ponder about it. And I feel like it was a learning that it's all about perception at the end of the day. I feel like she was giving, like, glass half empty, half full sort of thinking, that with whatever circumstance that she had, like, now she's in Prithian, and then she got she got in prison and then she got out of prison and now she's stuck with these people.
Yes.
But it was like, but you can make good of your circumstance. And she was able
Yes.
to do that. And she was able to love, she was able to serve, she was able to be second and like, you know, be in leadership and create those relationships. It was so beautiful. And so yeah, it was a gift.
All of it.
All
All
of
of it.
it.
Oh, it was, and I felt like it was just so beautiful when she was like, I I didn't quite fit before. And now she feels like she does.
She does.
Oh,
Did you like Amryn as the previous Amryn or as a Fae?
ooh. More previous Amryn.
Okay.
Yeah. I felt like she had more fire.
Yeah.
Yeah, but at the same time, it's gonna be fun to see how she adjusts.
Yeah.
Yeah, how about you?
It's same.
Yeah.
I like the previous Amryn of like super scary with like her magic and her power.
You never know when she's gonna erupt.
Absolutely.
Stay on your toes, folks.
Like you said earlier, there's a lot of showing up that was happening and like surprising us with Vasa, with Farrah's dad. Farrah's dad, when he appeared, it was like, and then he called the ships the Feyre, the Nesta, the Elaine. That was so
Aw.
sweet.
Yes. Okay, for the longest time, I was wondering, like, where the heck is their dad? Hello? And then that's the perfect way to return. Well, actually, honestly, that was like the only way to return. Otherwise, I would have been like, why bother? Yeah, no, really. Like if they had just brought him back and he's just like, I was actually concerned that they were gonna bring him back as like a hostage situation.
Oh.
Yeah, and then I would have been like, oh my God, can you not? Like, you've been missing in action for most of their lives, and then now you're like a hostage. But then he came back with the armada, and I'm like, okay, fine.
But I was even concerned. I was like, why would you bring him back like that and then just kill him?
It was so sad. It makes me think about in other series we've read where like we barely get to know the character to begin with, the parent figure, and then suddenly we're like kind of getting they show up, they do some really big thing
To redeem,
sacrifice,
yeah,
to redeem
this out, and then all of
and
a sudden they die.
they die, and then we're just like, okay, well, what do we even do with that?
I know. I know. What about Miriam and Draken?
I felt like, okay, first of all, I was like, oh my God, and we were talking about it.
Finally.
I know. And you and I were texting about this, and I was like, "No, in the hell, was it just some sort of what is it called?
A glamour.
A glamour over their island, and it freaking was. That's all it was. Can nobody have thought about that? For real? No,
Didn't make
nobody.
sense.
Didn't make sense. And the fact that somehow the glamour on Valaris gets exposed. They know they could figure out how to break through that, but then like nobody thought, oh, maybe it's a glamour. Let's check it out.
Yeah.
Oh, but they are cool though.
Miriam and Draken.
Miriam and Draken are cool. I feel like there's gonna be hopefully more for Miriam in the future because she's also made just like Nesta.
I mean, they have a cauldron, so I feel like at some point, yeah, we get to see them again.
We got to, right? Because
They're hiding the cauldron.
some High Lord is gonna go after them, or someone.
High Lord Baron.
Probably
Baron.
right?
Yeah.
Who else? But yeah, I mean, there's gonna be more action for them. And then talking about them, the Nefel philosophy, I felt like that was so cool to learn about because it inspired me. I'm always about this underdog story, and I love when we get to see that. And we've talked about it a lot in our Fourth Wing episodes, or at least I did, where I was like, oh my God, like I could still mount a dragon as long as the dragon bends the knee for me, like, or wears a saddle for me. Like this whole situation where even if you're the tiniest one, you have a broken wing, you can still save the day. That's inspiring to me.
Mm-hmm. Absolutely. So was that one of your favorite moments, would you say?
Ooh, yes. How about yours?
Honestly, yes. I literally put it down. Well, the Nefel philosophy, for
Yes.
sure. And especially that it came also from Azrael. So again, I'm going to reiterate that Azrael always comes up with like something that's so intentional and so meaningful every time he opens his mouth.
Mic drop. Mic drop.
Yeah, and he said, what we think to be our greatest weakness can sometimes be our biggest strength.
Beautiful.
Azrael, everyone.
Words of wisdom.
What else are your favorite quotes or moments?
Oh my God. I have so many. I don't even know where to start, but I'm going to try. Okay. First things first. I love when Cassian said casually to Feyre, I would have laid my life down for you. My heart.
Oh.
My heart. I already knew that Cassian was a sweetheart when he defended Feyre in the last book. No, I did. Oh, I did, girl. Okay. Like when he spoke up to Nesta and was like, you treated your sister like this. But when he said that, I'm like,
Yeah.
they're BFFs for life. There's nothing that's gonna even knock on wood, but even if something happened to Rhysand, I know that Cassian will step up and be like, will protect Feyre and the family forever.
Yeah. I agree.
Oh.
Rhysand said, you do not fear, you do not falter, you do not yield.
Everyone, she wanted to get that as a tattoo on her arm.
Yes, but I wanted it for the you do not yield.
From
for
Tog.
But then it's both.
It's
now
both.
There's more reason to do it.
There's more than reason.
Yeah.
Oh my God.
Okay.
Another moment for me. So this is kind of a sad one though. So when, again, another Cassian one, they're talking about Feyre going back to the Spring Court. And then Cassian was describing how he felt when Rhysand went under the mountain. And he said it went quiet. Like, I cannot imagine. That's the whole point of prison, right? Is that it's supposed to be the silence and you have to just ponder, like, pontificate. But the fact that it just went silent. And we get to see later on in other books their banter, like the Bat Boys, like interactions. It'll mean so much more then, but even at this moment, it felt like it was deep.
That was really hard for Cassian and Azriel, for sure. For
Yes.
50 years, yeah. Well.
Oh, I have more. Should I just keep going?
It says favorite, Victoria.
I know, but this is a big book. Okay, fine. I think I actually talked about some of these already, though, so I'll skip those. Favorite Tamlin closure moments. So one, when she says to Tamlin, you don't get to rewrite the narrative. You don't get to spin this to your advantage. Yes. And then she writes the letter and being like, basically, I've moved on, so I wish you the best, but I'm done. Like, yes, girl.
And when Tamlin also said, after resurrecting Rhysand, be happy, Feyre.
Yes. Still haven't forgiven him, though. Me? You could forgive him. I'm still not. I'm not better than that. And I don't know who said this, but I wrote this quote anyway. And I realized that home was indeed the same, but we perhaps were not.
Ooh.
Mm-hmm. They fought the war. They technically kind of won this battle, but they're all changed.
I think it was Rhysand.
Probably.
Because there were only it was only Feyre and one chapter of Rhysand.
That's right.
So,
yeah, it's probably Rhysand.
Yeah, probably Rhysand.
But for better, for worse, they're all different now. They'll never be the same.
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
Let's get into the Would You game.
Okay.
Okay. Ready?
Yes, let's go.
Would you look into the Ouroboros?
Yes.
Okay. Would you sacrifice like Rhys did?
Yes.
Would you lie like Amren about the cauldron if it meant winning the war?
Oh, yes.
Would you trust Tamlin again?
No.
Really?
Nope.
Okay. Would you let your partner sacrifice themselves if it saved the world?
Oh my God, that is so hard. Okay, I guess I'm a terrible person. I'd say yes.
Why? I feel like even if you say no, you're going to be a terrible person.
Okay, an impossible situation, so
Okay.
yes.
Would you take their place if you could?
Of course.
Aww. Would you choose one person you love or thousands of strangers?
Oh, depending on who those strangers are. I guess if they're strangers, I don't know who they are.
Would you live in Valeris or in Summer Court, Adriata?
Oh my God, Summer Court.
Yeah, I would. Explain why.
Well, first of all, I love Tarkin.
More than Rhysand.
No, not more than Rhysand, but
Okay.
I love Tarkin. I love Tarkin. But also I feel like there's just so much potential for Summer Court to be completely transformed.
It's already beautiful.
It's already beautiful, but in the sense of like the dynamics, because right now, so for example, during the war, right, they had all of the lesser fays or lesser creatures be locked up down below. I think that Tarkin and his court are going to make huge social change, and I'd love to witness that. But also, I'm a sun and sand girl. Even though I live in Chicago, like, girl, give me a beach and I will take it.
Okay. Interesting.
Are there any other characters that you felt like really stood out to you that we just haven't talked about yet?
No.
I feel like I'm good
I feel
too.
like it's pretty good.
Oh, yeah.
Do you want to play another game?
Sure.
Go for it.
Okay, so we're going to do a truth or false, true or
Okay.
false, hot takes version.
I'm scared.
Oh. It might not actually be as hard as you think.
Okay.
We'll see. 1. Tamlin is forgivable after he helped during the war.
True.
Okay. And you kind of talked earlier about that, so I get why.
I don't even think it's because of his help during the war. I think it's just, again, whenever I think of forgiveness, it's a personal thing.
That's true. Okay.
Yeah.
2. It was necessary. Oh, these are so similar to yours. It was necessary for Amryn to lie to Feyre in the moment in order to get her to work with the cauldron during the battle.
True.
Okay. And you think so you also framed the question that you asked me like it was just required. So you kind of answered the question already, but why do you think it was required?
I think because Feyre would never sacrifice Amryn. Or even, especially Rhys, would not sacrifice Amryn.
That's true.
And so I think she knew that the only way for them, for that to happen is if she hides it.
Okay. Yeah.
Yeah.
I agree. 3. Would you be able to face what you see in the Ouroboros?
Depends. I feel like what I would like to say, because I'm a strong person, yes. But then now that I think about it, I'm also a bad person. So I don't know how bad I would.
This girl keeps like saying that she's such a bad person. I'm like, where is it even coming from? But
Okay, probably not bad in a sense that I'm like doing like, I don't know, but like I can be a beast. So I don't know if I can face that.
Okay, so you bring up beast. So let's add another question. Do you think?
I'm probably a beaster than a beast.
Ooh. Okay, so then would Bryaxis be able to face themselves in the Ouroboros? Given you said you're a beast, so like would another beast be able to?
Maybe. I don't know. Let's just go with false.
Okay.
I don't know. Yeah.
All right. And next question. The Weaver actually made a difference in the outcome of the battle.
False.
Yeah, we talked about that. And 5, Feyre should have seen it coming that Rhysand was planning on sacrificing himself to the cauldron.
False.
Ooh, okay. Keep going.
I think that nobody knew that it was gonna break.
But when he was holding her and he was saying his goodbyes at that moment.
Oh,
But he wasn't exactly saying goodbye. He kind of framed it as like, I love you.
but like, what is Feyre gonna do?
I don't know.
Do you think she would sacrifice? She would. But then, if she let Rhysand live, then the cauldron would be broken, and then all of them dies anyways.
That's true. So then what was it all before?
Yeah.
Ooh, a conundrum.
But I think I was able to call the part of like they could always resurrect him
Because they're mates.
because of the giving of the power from the High Lords.
Right. With them being mates because she has to hold his soul.
That's true.
Yeah.
Yes. And then she acts as the Night Court because she's High Lady.
Right.
So
You know what that made me just think of is that whoever doesn't actually have a mate is at more risk of actually like totally dying.
that's true. So you better find your mate.
I know, everyone. That's the lesson of all of this. Find your mate ASAP.
I know. Any more?
No, that's the last one.
Okay, fun. I have a question.
Yes.
Who do you think is the most powerful High Lord?
Rhysand.
Oh no! Besides Rhysand. Ooh.
Oh, Feyre.
Well, besides them.
Okay, fine. Jeez. Ooh, that's a toughie. Powerful, huh? Helion. Helion's the one that came to the middle to save Feyre, right? Like picked her up
Where?
when she went to see the Suriel.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And then we didn't. Did we get an explanation? I think Rhysand was explaining that he sent Helion after her.
To do the bargain with the Weaver. I think,
Right.
yeah.
But how come Helion though? I feel like there's
Because
more.
they're friends.
Well, I feel like though it's more than that. Like, yes, you can ask Helion as a friend for a favor, but like he's also got to have some sort of something special to him that we don't quite know yet. And I think that's going to also translate into Lucian because
Interesting.
Lucian is technically his son.
Mm-hmm. And oh my gosh, I have a big revelation. Oh my gosh.
What?
Isn't Helion's power curse breaker?
Yes.
So does that mean that Lucian might be a curse breaker?
Could be.
And so that means that that he might be able to break
The
bond,
mating bond,
the mating bond
with him and Elaine. And I think he would do that. Oh, Lucian.
Oh.
But then that goes back to our point about like, then he could die.
Why?
Without a mate, who's gonna save him if he dies?
He'll find a different one.
Can you find another mate?
Then he just needs to be protected.
Yeah.
Right? Like, yeah.
But I feel like he would do that too.
He would do that.
He's sweet enough to do that. And you could kind of tell there's something going on with Elaine and Azriel now.
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
And I'm Team Azriel.
I am Team Azriel too.
Oh, poor Lucian.
Poor Lucian. But overall in this book, we had such a roller coaster of a discussion and a book. What was if you had to take one life lesson from all this? Because you had so many.
This is so hard. Okay. Well, if one lesson,
Yeah.
how do I phrase this? I guess like you have the power to see things the way you want to see it.
Ooh.
And I feel like it goes with things like forgiveness or even seeing gift of a family, of people around you. It's more of like a personal work thing. And I see that also with Feyre of like her circumstance, but then she was able to like own up to her like own decisions. Like it's still, a personal thing. I feel like that was my biggest lesson.
Aww.
If it does make sense. I couldn't explain it really good, but
no, I love that. I love that. Oh.
yeah. Like everything you chose to do is up to you.
Yeah.
And how you see the world is also up to you.
Yeah, absolutely.
Yeah. What was your biggest lesson?
I can't unsee the phrase it was all a gift. All of it.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
And to cherish the ones you love all the time.
Yeah.
Don't wait until the last moment. And I think what was so special about the farewell messages is that they knew that deep down, everyone already knew how much they loved each other. It was just simply a reminder brought to the surface at that moment.
Yeah, I love that. Do you have more questions for me? Because I have one last question.
Ooh.
Do you have a question?
I might think of one after you ask me.
No, I want to.
You want me to ask the last question? Okay. I think I want to hook onto one of the things that you said multiple times because I think we could debate. We're gonna keep debating this. I feel not debating, but we're gonna keep bringing this up. Is the topic of forgiveness? Because you said you could see one of your takeaways is or main takeaways you could see it's the way you see things, and you've always been one to say I forgive. Whereas I'm like, no, like I'm not forgiving Tamlin or like with Fourth Wing, I'm not forgiving Dane. But how do you find it in yourself to let go of even not just particular people or like grudges against people, but just like certain situations in the past where you're like, maybe you felt a little like you could have made a different decision in that moment. Or maybe you felt like, what if I was given another choice? How do you let go of that?
Well, I think the hardest forgiveness that you could ever give is forgiving yourself. So I think I live by that, code of like forgiving others because it's heavy to carry, hate or whatever you may call it, when you haven't forget someone else. But it doesn't also mean that I'm perfect in terms of like forgiving my own self. I feel like that is the hardest thing to ever do. because it's yourself. You know, it's hard. It's hard to just wrap your head around like this just choices and the decisions that, you know, you made or you didn't even make. I still find myself, you know, I think it's choosing peace over thinking of what could have been because it's never gonna happen anyways again.
Yeah.
What was the question again? Sorry.
Yeah, so you were talking about being able to forgive others for your own sake.
Yeah.
Letting go. So how do you let go of situations from the past? Not just particular people, but like situations that you felt maybe you had some sort of regret.
Oh, okay. Yeah. For other people though, how do I do it? I think I've always been hopeful that things could be different for them, or they could learn, or they could grow. I talked to you about this earlier, that there are things that, you know, that you may have done in the past that you're not proud of, but there's always hope for other people to also change, or even for yourself to change, right? Like forgiving yourself. Like I've done things in the past that I'm not proud of. But again, going back to the hardest things to forgive about yourself is the things that you know, maybe you didn't try to do. But you were also the person who literally gave me this like light yesterday that, you know, it's sometimes you can't just go back. So what do you do today? Like, what do you do now moving forward? Right? Like, what has to change so that you don't feel the same thing again in the next 5 years or in the next many years? Yeah. I hope I answered the question.
Oh, absolutely.
Yeah.
Thanks for sharing.
Yeah. Do you feel like where is your ability or disability? So, like, why is it so hard for you to forgive?
I feel like I'm such a particular person in general that like, oh, things got to be a certain way. Or like how I say, when you ask me this or that, and I'm like, it's a spectrum. And so I see forgiveness in that as well, in the sense that like, depending on how much they've done to lose your trust or to hurt you or hurt someone, that therefore there's a certain amount of things, or maybe not quantity, but like a certain level of thing that they need to do to regain that trust or to be forgiven.
Interesting.
Yeah.
Do you feel like you're more of a person who doesn't blow up right away?
Oh, yeah, for sure.
Okay.
It takes me a really long time.
Okay.
A lot of things adding up for me to blow up about to someone or something.
Okay.
I pick and choose my battles quite a bit.
Okay.
Yeah.
Maybe that's why. Maybe that's why it's hard to forgive too. Or like it takes you longer to forgive.
Oh.
Because as for me, I'm a very dramatic person. Like I would cry. And so like sometimes even after I cry, I'm like, I'm already done. Like I'm okay. So like I could forgive them.
Because
right
you got the
away.
emotions
Yeah,
out.
I got the emotions out. So like, I don't hold on to that emotions for a long time. Or at least I try not to.
Okay, that's an interesting perspective.
Yeah. So I think if we but you know, it's also hard obviously, because then putting your emotions out there is not really like acceptable to some people, you know, around you. It's like, why are you always like, you know what I mean? Like people, there are very, very few people who understand that you should be able to voice out your feelings, or, you know, and if you're in an environment where you feel like you have to shut it down or like, you know, keep it to yourself, then that's when it's harder.
Yeah. Or you feel like, and maybe you feel like that because the people around you have started like judging too soon. Like you haven't even fully thought about it. You're feeling it, but you're not sure what it is. And then you speak out and then they're just like, oh my God, like, why did you just say that? Like, oof.
Yeah.
Yeah. And then it's no longer a safe space.
Yeah. Totally.
Yeah. Okay.
Last question of the episode. Who do you think has the largest wingspan?
Oh my goodness, girl. Okay. Asriel.
Wingspan. What?
Yes.
Why Asriel?
Okay, I feel like with this is a deep dive into masculinity, or my perception of masculinity.
Okay.
Mine, okay? My words only, not representative of the whole book podcast. Is the ones who are the quietest are usually quietly confident because they got they got
Has
the nice
the
stuff.
largest wingspan. I'm talking about wingspan.
No, but they know. I mean, like the wingspan, I think is to me for an Illyrian is more important than the other thing. It's more important because it's so sensitive.
The wingspan.
Yeah, that
I'm
like
so
their
sorry.
their enjoyment and therefore my enjoyment would be so much more if their wings are just like.
Interesting.
Yeah. What about you?
I don't know. I have no
But you
idea.
asked the question.
I'm just curious. I don't know. I feel like, guys, if you've read Silver Flames, you would know that Cassian's wingspan is
Is that confirmed though?
the what?
That it's the biggest?
Wingspan?
Yeah, is it confirmed?
No. It wasn't confirmed.
Oh, okay.
But like his wingspan's
Some span is big. There is some span that is big on him. That is confirmed.
That is the answer.
That is confirmed.
Aren't we talking about that for the whole anyways? Weren't you?
I mean, someone's excited.
Okay. If we're talking about like wingspan in general, I don't think it's Azriel.
No?
Because I feel like isn't he like, I don't know. But if we're talking about that wingspan,
That span? I
think it's Azriel.
You think so?
You think Cassian?
I think it's Cassie.
Interesting.
Mm-hmm.
Well, sure, maybe. Okay, fine, whatever.
But how would they even compare unless they were in the room?
yeah,
the sauna!
the sauna.
We need that in a special series too, on top of the wedding that we missed. Let's start a list together.
At this point, you just want smut.
I mean, hello. Don't we
full
all?
A full book of smut.
I mean, wasn't that kind
don't
of
need the
Silver
plot.
Flames?
We don't need any plot.
No, we
anymore.
don't. I'm good. I mean, like most of Silver Flames was that, and I was like, I was good with that.
Yeah,
I was
okay.
very happy. I was a happy
800
camper.
pages of smut.
Oh, sure. Let's go.
Okay, before we get too crazy here, I feel like this is it. We have to say goodbye.
We have to say goodbye. And what are we covering next week?
Of course, A Court of Frost and Starlight. So we're gonna have fun on that one. It's pretty short, but there's a lot of potential to have fun there.
Oh, yeah. And we're going to be throwing around a lot of games in that one. So
Yes.
stay tuned.
Stay tuned. See you next week, besties.
Bye, besties.